Hey Hoopers, it's Deanne Love here, and in this tutorial I am going to share with you 5 reasons why you are not shoulder hooping yet, even though you're really trying. Yep, you need to upgrade to a much bigger circle. If you're using a kiddie's hoop or a small hoop for shoulder hooping, you're taking up way too much of the space inside the circle and you won't be able to move your body as freely as you need. You can test if your hoop is the right size as a beginner shoulder hooper by putting the hoop on the floor. If it does not come up to at least your hips belly button, or well beyond, then it's too small. Another way that you can test is to press the hoop against the back of your shoulder blades, and if you can reach out and touch your hoop, it's probably too small for beginning smooth shoulder hooping. So I would recommend a dance hoop or a fitness power hoop. Now you want to make sure that it's not too weighted and bulky so that it's not going to cause any damage or bruises, but it's not too small. So touching the floor and coming up to about your belly button or well beyond is going to give you the best chance at shoulder hooping success. Shoulder hooping is all about making movement in the shoulders and the upper body. So if your movement is coming from your waist and your hips and below, then that's where the party is and that's where the hoop will want to go. So a way to stop so much movement being in the legs and the booty and the waist is to press your feet into the floor, make sure that you're nice and grounded, and then you're going to draw your thighs up and squeeze your bottom, push your pelvis under so that you have this nice alignment, and then feel kind of this warmth or this tightening in your belly, and then relax off a little bit, and I want you to start to move your shoulders from there. You can do this without the hoop. How exciting. So with the bottom of your body nice and isolated, you are going to push your chest forwards and backwards and just see if you're making big movements with your hips. Then you want to lock off the legs, push the pelvis forward, tuck it under, hold the belly in tight, and just let the chest move forwards and backwards as if you're being pulled from your heart center forwards and then backwards. And be mindful anytime the hips start to sway. And the more energy and practice you can give this movement, the better you will be at unlocking your upper body. Most people are not used to doing this movement. They're used to doing hips, legs, and middle belly movement. And especially if you started off on your waist, you'll have that muscle memory. You'll know how to do that. And the body will kind of revert to that. So you really need to start to train it to use the upper body. And then once you've done the forwards and backwards push, you can slide side to side. And so any movement that you can start to make in your upper body is going to unlock. And so the next time you start to shoulder hoop, I want you to remember those things. To keep the legs engaged, the pelvis tucked under, the belly nice and tight, and push from the heart center, allowing the hoop to roll over the chest, side, back, and side. And any time that you forget and the movement starts to come from down below, well, that's where the hoop is going to go. Yes, shoulder hooping is called shoulder hooping for a reason. It's not arm hooping. And even though your arms will want to take over and either crowd in front here or swing and fly out to the back, you want to bring them back into control so that you have the 4 points of the body touching the inside of the hoop, and that is the front, the side, the back, and the side. You can close your eyes and make sure that you're feeling it. If your arms are getting in the way, then the hoop won't touch your chest, or if your arms are back, the hoop won't touch your back. You'll feel it on your arms more. So what you really want to do is find a neutral position, not too robotic, and then not too wild and crazy with those arms. So if they're batting the hoop out like this, then your hoop is obviously going to go all over the place. So finding a neutral position, sometimes it helps to put your fingertips on your upper thighs so that you can allow your chest to open and the hoop to roll over the 4 points. When we first start shoulder hooping, it's often easier to turn in the same direction as the hoop because we get this kind of in sync thing happening where the hoop is coming to meet the 4 points of the body, the front, side, back and side, and we're turning into it. So we're really kind of doing this little dance together. But when we stop, it becomes a little bit harder to get those 4 points moving and pressing into the hoop. And so the difference is when you turn around in a circle, you can get a little bit more cruisier. You can feel as if you can open those 4 points and let the hoop come to you. But when you stop, you will see that you need to speed up the pushes, and it becomes a little bit harder to get so much freedom and openness. And you'll find that you really need to ground down with the feet and the legs, engage the belly, and almost slide or shimmy side to side, side to side, side to side, so that you're feeling the hoop roll over the front of the chest with that chest push, the sides of the arms and the back. And you're going to speed up. A cool way to practice this is turning in a circle, stopping, speeding up, turning in a circle, stopping and speeding up. If your hoop is popping up and dropping down, it means that you're being way too wobbly and you have some extra movement in there that you really don't need. And that extra movement is the shoulders popping up and dropping down. So if your hoop is always popping up to your neck when you're trying to shoulder hoop, you are either pushing it up with an upward push or you're dropping away from it with a downward drop out so that it's going up to your neck. And if the hoop is dropping down, either you don't have quite enough energy, you're not connecting with your hoop, or you're wobbling all over and it's bouncing and hitting different parts of your body. So to try to balance that out, you're going to imagine that you have a nice straight line in your shoulders and they don't go up or down from that straight line. You can hold your shoulder blades a little more firm so that you can feel that alignment there. And then when you give the hoop a nice push, you're imagining that you're pushing out on this flat line. You don't have to go up and down. You can just push out from the front, side, back, side. Almost as if you have, let's say, bags of really heavy glitter on top of your shoulders and they're just slightly weighing your shoulders down so that you're not tempted to raise them up or pop them up. You don't want to spill that glitter. So now the fun begins. It's now playtime and practice time. Shoulder hooping definitely takes time. You need to be patient and have lots of freedom and fun with yourself. The only thing that's going to be weighing you down is those bags of glitter. So don't get stressed about the shoulder hooping because one day when you least expect it, it's just going to pop and it will feel like magic, and shoulder hooping will become your happy place just like it is for me. So remember, your hoop needs to be big enough. You also need to make sure that you're not too wobbly, that the movement is coming from your upper chest, that your arms are not getting in the way, and that you learn to turn and to stop. So you're playing with the pace of your hoop. So good luck and have fun, and don't forget that you can always share your progress in your shoulder hooping with me on Instagram. I'm DeanneLoveXO, or you can head on over to the Hooplovers Facebook page and you can share your videos there. It's such a beautiful, sweet, empowering and positive space. Now, of course, the best way is to share the joy with people around you in real life. When you get shoulder hooping, you can either rock it out in your shows, when you're sharing with your friends, or teach someone. It's the best way to learn. Hey, and come over to hooplovers.tv and hang out with me there. You can sign up for my weekly love letter and I share extra amounts of love every single week.